the conversation we have to be honest about and we have to have is the black middle class, particularly the upper black middle class, and the fact that their classism blinds them from seeing that they are being taken for a ride by corporate greed. Instead of fighting against corporate greed, the answer to everything is, if you are complaining about the price, it's because you are not the target market. Not realizing that, number one, the product you are buying is not of best quality. Number two, because it's not of best quality, it shouldn't cost the price that it costs. But because because they're trying so hard to other themselves from the rest of the country. You understand? Once black people enter to that tax bracket, they like and enjoy being the only ones there. You understand? So when once you challenge, this thing shouldn't cost this much, the first thing they say is like, it's because you can't afford this tax bracket, that's why you're complaining. Not realizing it's just corporate greed.
Being middle class has to be one of the worst places to be financially. And you're so cautious of complaining because you're aware that things could be worse, right? But it's that thing of not earning enough for certain governmental benefits, even though you know you need them. And then on the other hand, you don't earn enough to be comfortable. Living paycheck to paycheck, paying for everything. Even breathing at this point comes at a cost. Being alive is expensive. Like, guys, we can't die middle class. Like, we can't do this for much longer. Like, a plan has to be made because the situation is just getting worse. Like, it's so bad. It's so bad. I know I say this all the time, but it's really bad. As a middle class person, you bear the brunt of the badness. So we can't stay here, guys. Like, no. Can we just push? Figure out a way to get out of this loop. Because this whole thing is just a giant mess box.
Show me, if you are staying in a neighborhood that allows fireworks, my friend, please work harder. My friend, please sell something. My friend, please do something. Stay in a neighborhood that does not allow fireworks. And then you will say, Chomi, if you leave, I've made it.
The biggest problems we have in South Africa as black people, it's classism. And it's something that a lot of people are afraid to admit. Classism amongst black people, it's really disgusting and it's really nasty, and it's also really unnecessary. And I've realized that in some instances, it could actually cost someone the opportunity to actually get a job, maybe in corporate or even work in a nice area because you're from the hood, or you're from Imakaya, or you don't give out suburban aesthetics, or your English accent doesn't sound very Englishy, it sounds very Kasi, or it sounds very Makayari, you know what I mean? And I never understood why that's such a thing amongst black people. And one of the most things I've realized about classism, it mostly happens amongst women. Most women who are doing well, most women who live in the suburbs, and most women who are not working hard for what they have, they are so classist. They are so classist, and it just doesn't make sense to me. It could be, I'm a slave queen. But like, let's just say I'm a slave queen. Just in general, most of them, they're so classist. They're classist around people they don't know. Like, they're classist around strangers, and then on top of that, they become classist around their own family members, especially family members that live in the hood. Slave queen type of people, like slave queen type of females, they're very classist. But classism is very unnecessary amongst black people, and it's something that needs to stop because it doesn't make any sense, and it's nasty, and you need to work on yourself. You know what I mean?
So the lady who posted about fireworks and how we need to work harder if they're allowed in our neighborhood, she really confuses me because last time I checked, especially in Joburg, fireworks are allowed provided they're on private property and for certain holidays at certain times of the evening. And yeah, as long as your body corporate allows that if you're living in a complex. And she's busy saying we need to work harder if that's allowed. And as someone who lives in the northern suburbs, I don't understand what she's talking about, because there was someone, right, with their standalone home in Bryanston lighting fireworks on New Year's Eve, and that person probably lives in a 10 million rand house. So I don't know what she means by work harder. Does that person also need to work harder because they're allowed to light fireworks? Do their neighbors have to work harder? I'm confused. Make it make sense.
And guys, there's actually a very big difference between showing your appreciation and classism. A lot of you guys are actually being classist. You don't recognize it because you're very defensive and you're like, well, why must we hide? Why must we celebrate struggle culture? And you're valid in saying that. Vele, post-democracy, a lot of black people should be living above the poverty line. We should be liberated in that sense. But the truth is, our country is still very much marked by social inequalities, and a lot of us are not as progressed in life as we should be. It's the unfortunate reality, but it's not to say that you can't show appreciation for the things that you have. If you are living a life of privilege, we're not saying that you don't deserve to. What we're saying is that don't make other kids feel bad. Don't make other kids feel like it's their fault for not living above the poverty line, for living a middle class life. I don't even know the differences anymore. I saw you guys on another trend posting a middle class home and you guys were living lavish. Posts like that are very insensitive and show that you guys are deliberately being ignorant. All it's showing is that you guys have emerged into a classist black privileged group, and it's not good for our liberation. It's not good for our progression, because at the end of the day, we're not truly progressing, or we're not truly liberated if we're leaving some of the people behind.
And another annoying thing about being working class is the fact that you're constantly affected. If Cyril and his friends decide that they're increasing taxes, they're increasing VAT, you're affected. I don't know about everybody else, but I am getting tired of being affected. And the only way out of being affected is to get rich. Another annoying thing about not being rich is the fact that there are so many injustices, so many unspoken truths that need to be said that you can't say because you don't have enough money to risk being cancelled. And not being able to have a voice simply means that you're powerless. I'm tired of being powerless. I'm tired of being controlled. Controlled by the system, controlled by the people that you work for, controlled by the governments. You just when every day you wake up and you're being controlled. Why? Awuna mali. And there are people who honestly wake up every day and they're okay with that. But I'm starting to get uncomfortable. And I think the older you get, the more uncomfortable it gets to be constantly taking instructions, being blown by the wind, being shoved from pillar to post. It's exhausting. Honestly, we need to get rich or die trying, guys. This is some BS. Honestly.
Some of you guys will come onto this app, it's so difficult to make friends. Nize as commoners, how do we do it at this age? It's so lonely in your luxury apartments. You feel like people are jealous of you. You can't relate to people. Of course you can't relate to people. You've made being rich and well off your entire personality. When you see a person, you see how much money they make. Every conversation with the person is an opportunity for you to flaunt how rich and well off you are. In fact, you purposefully target people you deem lower than you socioeconomically so that you can make them feel small. Of course, people don't want to be around you, let alone be your friend, because you're insufferable. You're a raging classist and narcissist, and it actually goes hand in hand. And you don't introspect. You even hop onto trends that make other people feel small. Money isn't everything, but humanity is. Umuntu ngumuntu ngabantu.
The quality of South African clothing is going down and people are being robbed in broad daylight, even by the expensive or the middle class shops, especially those ones, because they take advantage of the fact that black South Africans are raging classes that will never challenge these shops, because people will say, oh, if you challenge the shop, then maybe you're not the target market. If you can't afford the Aber or the Troussants from the shop, then you're not the target market. When you can feel good, see the Troussants from 5 years ago and the Troussants of today are not the same quality.